All right, what's going on? We'll give people a couple of chances to get in here real quick. Make sure everything's right. Man, we're in a mess. We really are in a mess, man. Again, I'm gonna give people some chances to get in here. All right. Yeah, I mean, what are y'all thinking, man? What are y'all thinking? What's going on point? What are y'all thinking? I mean, we just saw that we need receiver help in the worst way. But what everything that we needed to happen as far as the division games, everything came through. So what do we do? Do we want to win next week and make the playoffs and have an outside shot at getting the receiver? Or do we want to just lose out and just make sure we get Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase? Yeah, it comes down to next week. Whoever wins next week between the Cowboys and Giants, if Washington can lose to Jalen Hurts, which it looks like they probably will, whoever wins that Giants Cowboys game is taking the division. And like I said, Jalen Hurts seems like he'll win that game next week. So I'm not too worried about that part of it. It's just about the Giants winning. But man, we need some receiver help. We need some receiver help bad. I don't know if any of you saw my video, but yeah, I'm not really happy about the lack of weapons for DJ and the hate that I'm seeing consistently at DJ. And like, it's no way he didn't play a bad game at all today. Yeah, if we beat the Cowboys and Washington loses, we're in the playoffs, which is it's ridiculous. 6 wins might get us in. We've been at 5 wins for what, 3 weeks in a row? What's going on, PTA Sports? Yeah, we've been at 5 wins for a while. So I thought the winning team would get to 7 or 8 wins, to be honest with you. But yeah, 6 wins might actually do it. Yeah, you always want to see your team in the playoffs, and of course you get to see your team for an extra week. So I'm not going to be angry if we make the playoffs, but we need wide receiver help bad. I mean, I'm thinking that Kyle Pitts will probably be gone. I'm thinking that the receivers will probably be gone. Like the top three, Waddle, Chase, and Devontae Smith will be gone. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would love to be in the playoffs. I would love to see my team, this young team, get that experience. But yeah, I don't know. If we lose next week, I'm pretty sure, depending on how things play out, if we lose next week, we might be fourth. So that could give us like a top 6 or 7 pick, actually, maybe even higher. But that'd pretty much guarantee us one of the top 2 receivers. Jalen Waddle all day. They're real similar. I think I might be getting Rashad Bateman confused with Rondale Moore, but Jalen Waddle to me, he's like a Tyreek Hill type. I don't think he's as fast as Tyreek Hill, but he's like a Tyreek Hill type that he can break tackles. He's a great route runner. He's to me a better route runner, a way better route runner than Tyreek Hill was coming out of college. So it's all up to if he's healthy or not. But I think we need a big body. Yeah, our defense didn't show up, but the Ravens offense is our kryptonite. They're everything that we've had problems with. They run to the edge a lot, and they throw a lot of short passes. They're not afraid to check it down, and we were missing a lot of tackles. Yeah, it's like this every week you see Devontae Adams making plays. This is what I want to see in New York. I want to see a receiver making plays for us. Giants receiver gets tackled at the 1 yard line, and Wayne Gallman steals that touchdown from DJ. But Exactly. We can either win the division and be picking at like 19 or 20 or something like that, or we could have the number 3 or 4 pick. Yeah, he's really similar to Tyreek Hill. I just think he's a little better. He's a little bit better of a route runner, and to me, he plays a much more physical game. Now, Tyreek Hill plays a physical game for his size, but Waddle to me is a lot more physical. He reminds me kind of like a faster Steve Smith. And the same thing with Rondell Moore. He reminds me a lot of Steve Smith. He's like a running back playing wide receiver. But he's a lot. He's a lot. He reminds me. I mean, that's going to be the first comparison is the Tyreek Hill thing. I don't know if Waddle will fall, man. It's a lot of people just because of that speed receiver trend. There's a lot of people saying that Waddle is going to go pretty high. Like if Waddle is healthy, some people were trying to take him as the first receiver. Now with him out, I mean, things changed, but I don't know. I don't think he'll last to 19 unless there's something like where he's not healing right. And then at that point, do you really want to touch him? Oh yeah, I'm a lifelong Giants fan. I've never been a fan of any other team. But yeah, like I said, at that point, do you really want Waddle if his injury is so bad that he's falling? I don't know. I kind of want a big body. Uh, I kind of been on the Kyle Pitts train, but I think if we have a shot at a Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts kind of takes a back seat because they can pretty much do it all. They can go up and get the ball. They can go down the field. They can play that intermediate game. We just really need a guy that can do it all. Like Slayton, he can go deep, but he's not really a route runner. We need a route runner that can go up and get the ball, that can run routes in short yardage, and that can get down the field and really make things happen in a deep game. So we just need a receiver, a number one guy. No matter how you want to classify it, we need a number one guy. Yeah, I'm thinking it's up in the air. I think if the Giants win, they're in the playoffs. I think the Eagles will win regardless. But who knows? The Cowboys' offense exploded this week. I'm not sure the Giants can score with them if they're clicking on all cylinders. I don't know, man. Would you rather be go into next season without addressing that receiver spot? Because I doubt they're going to pay Allen Robinson. I mean, I want to pay Allen Robinson, but I don't think they're going to pay Allen Robinson like 19 million or 20 million or however much. I haven't seen Jonathan Adams out of Arkansas State. Let me look him up. He's 6'5". No, like I mean, I don't. There's probably going to be receivers that I end up liking that are going to be guys that can contribute year one, and that's fine. But I want a complete, polished first round, bona fide number one receiver, no doubt about it. Like I want that kind of guy. I don't want any chances because this is DJ's third year, and if we don't play, if we don't, if we don't, show some progress and stuff, you wasted his entire rookie contract. So if DJ does somehow, get a guy that's not the number one kind of guy, then at that point, it's going to be tough because then you're going to be saying once we get that number one guy, the year after we're going to be able to really make some noise, and then at that point the rookie contract is up. Um, so who knows? Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we need a couple of guys. I think we need a couple of guys. I mean, Darius Slayton. I think he's. People say he was a number two. I think he's just a deep third at this point. Maybe when we get the bona fide number one, he becomes a number two. But at this point, he looks. He's been injured too, so I'll give him a pass. But I don't know. Yeah, the NFC East should be better. Um, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be really good. I didn't want him to get a chance. I wanted Carson Wentz to stay in there forever, but I think Jalen Hurts is going to be really, really good. Dak is going to be really good, and Washington might have they might have a good quarterback next year. They might go out and get a free agent, or they might draft someone that catches lightning in a bottle. Man, I hope Saquon. If Saquon won MVP, that'd be the best thing in the world. That'd just be the best. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting to see, and I'm pretty sure he can come back healthy from this injury. I just want to see if he can, if this blocking scheme. That's assuming that we have Garrett back next year. I'm just Saquon Barkley could appreciate that. Will okay. Um, Saquon could be used like Alvin Kamara, but they don't use him like that, and it's infuriating because we drafted him number 2 overall, and we don't use him how he should be used. Like I just don't get it. We never use him how he's supposed to be used. So hopefully we get someone in here that knows how to use Saquon. I don't care about a cornerback at this point, unless if we sign Allen Robinson or we sign one of these top flight receivers, even Kenny Galladay, okay, sure, we'll take a corner in the first round. But until that happens, we have to take a wide receiver in the first round. In my opinion, it's just too important. Because what I saw today, I don't know if I'll recover from that. I don't know if I can recover from this, man. I don't want to see any of these wide receivers out here. See, I'm not that confident in Gregory Rousseau to be worth a top 10 pick when you have, I mean, to me, 2 like bona fide number 1 wide receivers, and if Jalen Waddle is healthy, he's a number 1. And Kyle Pitts, I mean, a lot of these pass catching tight ends end up being busts, but Kyle Pitts is 6'6". He can run routes like a receiver, and he's like what 6'6", 240. And he really plays above the numbers, man. Yeah, the thing is, it'll end up being a bidding war. If we get Allen Robinson, it'll be because we paid him a lot. Because teams like the Ravens are going to want him, and they're obviously they're obviously in a better spot to win. So I think he'll probably pick us if we pay him a lot. Juju Smith, I don't want to touch. I don't see him as a number 1. Kenny Galladay, I'd be fine with. He just got to stay healthy. Um, the rest of these guys, I mean, it's up in the air. Dante Pettis looked pretty solid, but I mean, he's a 4th receiver at best at this point. Yeah, Rousseau, he looked good in college, but I'm not sure that he has that. I'm not sure that his talent can translate. I'm gonna do. You guys should look out in the next couple of months as this season winds down and stuff. I'm gonna be doing a lot of draft stuff. But right now, from what I've seen on tape of just the physical tools, I'm not sure that Rousseau is worth a top pick. I don't even think Evan Ingram could be better wide receiver at this point because he's not. I don't know. He's not a consistent catcher of the ball. He's good playing against these linebackers and safeties. He just can't catch. Today he caught, but he got injured. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, Mike. You see, I just got to look back at the tape, to be honest with you. Just like I said, from what I've seen so far, it could change, but from what I've seen so far, I don't think that he's worth a pick over top of one of those receivers. I don't think the value will meet it. Now, if we're picking in the teens and he's there, that's a different thing. That's what I don't. I mean, people like Rousseau, people like Quiddy Pay, but I'm not that high on him. But like I said, maybe I look back at the tape and something changes. But from what I've seen so far, I haven't looked. I haven't like watched hours and hours. But uh, like I said, I'll make those decisions as we get closer. But right now, I'm leaning towards all receivers. There's way too much receiving talent from the receiver and the tight end spot to ignore, especially when that's your biggest need. My ideal kind of draft would be my ideal kind of offseason would be us maybe signing Bud Dupree or getting one of these pass rushers on a kind of a there's going to be a lot of budget deals this offseason because of the salary cap dropping. So it'll probably be some 1-year deals, prove it type deals. Maybe we get somebody like Bud Dupree or even another pass rusher that's kind of like the step below that. And this defense that can work. And then address, and you're adding 2 more weapons because Golden Tate is going to be gone. Golden Tate is going to be gone, so you're going to have to replace him just from that. And he's not been really that good. And then you feel that you need to add another receiver on top of that. But I just don't think I'm going to be really annoyed if we don't sign a number 1 receiver in free agency and we don't draft one in the first round. I just couldn't justify taking an edge rusher when you can say that the defense could use that edge rusher. They definitely can. We've needed an edge rusher for a while. But when you look at this season all together, yeah, Shaq Barrett will definitely be available. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be available on those 1-year prove-it deals. But when you look at it, I just can't look at this entire season and say that if we had an edge rusher, we win more games. Maybe we win 1 or 2 more games, but most of the time the defense is giving up less than 22, 23 points. So I don't know. I think I'll say our problem has been more limiting the rushes to the edge, the runs to the edge, more than a pass rush on the edge. Because Kyler Fackrell was doing a good job. And we had a fresh rotation of Kyler Fackrell and Jabal Sheard and a couple of those other guys in there. We were actually doing a solid job. I think Lorenzo Carter is going to be good against the run, but I don't see much difference between the edge rushers in the first round and the rushers in the second round. Yeah, I definitely don't want JD Clowney. He's a run stopping guy. Maybe if we get him on a really cheap deal, but yeah, Dupree's going to be out for a while. But I don't know. I don't want JD Clowney. But yeah, Leo Williams is going to be the first thing that they do. They should be talking to him right now, trying to get something figured out. Because if not, he'll probably get franchised. But like I said, there's going to be so many people looking for money, and the salary cap is dropping like $25 million. So it's going to be a lot of people that don't get paid or get paid for 1 year, or their contracts might be backloaded. Yeah, JD Clowney is injury prone and he's not a consistent pass rusher. He's an athletic freak, but it doesn't translate to consistent pass rush. But he's dominant in the run game. He really is. And the same thing, Golladay is kind of injury prone too. But Golladay, if he's right, then that's a brand new kind of element to the offense. If we get a top 5 pick, I don't see a quarterback that'll be there for us to take. Simply because I think those quarterbacks will go 1, 2, 3. I like Zach Wilson. I mean, I like Trevor Lawrence the best, obviously. Then Zach Wilson, then Justin Fields. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see a quarterback after Trevor Lawrence that's worth restarting everything. That's so much better. Because when I'm looking at these quarterbacks, I'm like, which one of these quarterbacks would have the Giants at a much better spot than what we are right now? Better than DJ. And to me, that's Trevor Lawrence, and that's it. And I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence would probably win like 3, 4 more games just because of the lack of turnovers, and he'd make the same plays and probably extend a couple more. But the other 2 quarterbacks, I don't really see them as elevating the team more than what DJ will do. Edward, it'll take to get to the playoffs. We have to win next week, and Washington has to lose. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is definitely partying. He avoided a train wreck. We got to attack that wide receiver position or the tight end position. Coverage linebacker, I understand that too. That is a need because we've been giving up a lot in the middle of the field. But I don't think it's as big of a need as finally getting the offense to score some points. Because just think about it. Last year, just from the scheme that we were running last year, we were able to score a lot more touchdowns. Yeah, if we lose Dallas, I mean, to me at this point, it's a win-win and it's a lose-lose. Because I'll be kind of sad if we don't make the playoffs, but I'll be kind of sad if we don't get that top receiver. But I'll be happy if we make the playoffs, and I'll also be happy if we get the top wide receiver. I guess my best case scenario will be making the playoffs and then getting one of those receivers like maybe Waddle falls or Kyle Pitts falls. Oh yeah, Pat Fryermuth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Pat Fryermuth from Penn State. He's a beast. He's like when you look at his tape, it looks exactly like Gronk. I don't I don't know if we fire if Gettleman doesn't draft a receiver at this point. I think he has a blind spot. Yeah, as long as Washington loses next week, we win because we'd be tied with them. If we win next week and they lose, we'll both be 6-10. So we'd hold the tiebreaker. We win the Super Bowl, but we'd all know that like having that 30 something overall pick would kind of set us back. But I mean, you take a Super Bowl every time. That's what you're planning for. A couple of weeks ago, I mean, I didn't want to say it on the channel, but of course, the fan in you, every time you start putting together a winning streak and you're playing defense the way we were, of course, I was getting excited saying maybe if we squeeze into the playoffs and put together a run, but we don't have the talent on offense, man. We don't have the weapons, and it'll be a lot better once we get Saquon back next year, along with the receiver, we'll be good. I think Ingram just becomes your second tight end at that point if you bring in Pitts. And that's exactly what I'm saying, man. Like if if Dave Gettleman doesn't select the wide receiver, he has a real blind spot. He's saying trade for Dak. I don't know if we should trade for Dak, but I don't know. I don't think we should trade for Dak. I do think that Dak is good though, but he might also walk. So if he walks, I mean anything is possible. But if the Gettleman doesn't draft a wide receiver, he clearly has a blind spot. Clearly has a blind spot, and he's got to go. And that's pretty much my evaluation of Gettleman. I think he's done a decent job, but if he doesn't address that receiver spot, then at that point he has to go. But he still might be fired anyway because they said it's a Joe Judge decision. Joe Judge will also make that decision for. Um, he'll also make that decision for Jason Garrett. Yeah, I'd be pissed, man. I don't know. I'm preparing myself for Gettleman to draft like a defensive tackle to replace one of them that he's probably going to lose this offseason, and I'll be heated. I'd be heated. I mean, I'm also not ruling out the fact that Patrick Surtain might be there and they might just say we need a cornerback, which we need a cornerback, but we need a weapon on offense a lot more. Because I think even Saquon as a weapon in the passing game and the run game, the big plays, we're missing that. And Yeah, even Saquon, we're missing him. I think he wins us like 2 or 3 more games. I think Kyle Pitts is that good. I think he's good enough to go in the top 15. I wouldn't be mad at Kyle Pitts at all. Now, the only thing that makes me question Kyle Pitts is just because it seems like every other first round tight end that goes there, that goes high, never ends up being good. Evan Ingram, I mean, he's been Evan Ingram. OJ Howard's always been injured. David Njoku's always been injured. I can't really think of a first round tight end that lived up to his potential. Even Eric Ebron, he's had a couple of good years, but he hasn't really lived up to it. He hasn't lived up to his spot. I can't think of one first round tight end that has. Yeah, Dak. I don't know. If the Cowboys somehow get a top pick and they got one of these top 3 quarterbacks, I was kind of fearing that, but now it looks like they probably won't. But they might. I don't know. Kyle Pitts reminds me of Travis Kelsey. I think he might be taller than Travis Kelsey. Let me look up his height. Travis Kelsey's height. Like Kyle Pitts is out here running. He's out here running routes like a real, a real wide receiver. And he's 6'6". He's jumping out of the jump. So I just want Kyle Pitts just because of the height. But obviously, if you got Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, I think that's the ideal situation. And it kind of drops if you get somebody like Allen Robinson or Kenny Galladay. It kind of drops at that point, but even still, I wouldn't be mad at us taking someone high. See, Jalen Waddle is small, but he attacks the football. He attacks the football in the air, so it wouldn't be the worst thing. And I mean, who cares how small you are if you can run past the defense and you're just by yourself? Yeah, the Cowboys, they can go a lot of different ways too. I don't know if anybody really bites on Ingram. I'd rather Ingram just be our second tight end. I'd rather Ingram just stay as our second tight end. And I mean, maybe if you want more blocking from him, you trade him because he's not going to really give you the blocking that your second tight end usually does. Jalen Waddle is about, I think he's like 5'10", 5'11", but he really attacks the ball. If you look at his tape, he really goes like, okay, you would take, would any of you guys take Steve Smith? Because Steve Smith was like 5'9", but he consistently jumped out of the gym to catch these passes. Because Steve Smith was jumping out of the gym, snatching stuff out of the air. And I would take Steve Smith in his prime on this team right now because he's creating separation. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, AJ. I was kind of thinking that too. We had the chance to just wrap it up, and Odell I think is like 5'11". He's close to 6 feet. But Odell, he was great at the spectacular catches, but he wasn't that good actually at those contested catches. Yeah, he's like 5'11", probably 6 feet with his cleats on. But like I said, he was good with those spectacular athletic catches. But as far as like he's in a crowd and he's jumping over people, he was never really good at those catches. Yeah, Steve Smith, man. Jalen Waddle reminds me of Steve Smith on tape, and I think the guy's name is Rondell Moore. Both of them, like they're stiff arming people, throwing people around, physical routes, great route runners. Both of them remind me of Steve Smith, except probably both are faster. But I mean, you can't say what kind of career they're going to have, but they remind me of Steve Smith a lot. Yeah, I think if we get a wide receiver, then we probably can just go ahead and take the tight end. But yeah, just exactly, Noah. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, if the guy's 5'9", like all the Giants fans saying we need a big body, we do. We really need a big body on the offense. But how many of you right now would give up a first round pick for Tyreek Hill? Because I would. I would definitely give up a first round pick right now for Tyreek Hill because he's going to create separation. Odell was never, like I said, the greatest contested catch guy. He was great at the spectacular highlight catches, but never really the contested catches where he's got people hanging on him. Like how DeAndre Hopkins went up and got that Hail Mary. That's not really Odell's thing. But he was open. He created separation. Stephon Diggs, he's not really the guy who's going to rise above everybody and catch things, but he's open. We got to have guys who can get open. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the draft that we would actually make that trade and that the Chiefs would do it, but I'm saying that's how much a receiver that can get open is worth. The Knicks up 20. I don't know how that happened. It's a hypothetical kind of thing. It's mostly me just saying if you have a receiver that can consistently create separation and get open down the field, it doesn't really matter how tall he is because Tyreek Hill usually doesn't have to jump over people. He usually is just open down the field. And Tyreek Hill, by the way, does go up and get the ball. He has like a 40-inch vertical. He's a freak athlete, and so is Jalen Waddle. It's just about if he can get healthy. It's all about if he can get healthy. Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. I really enjoyed watching the Clippers get blown out like that. But yeah, we just need someone like I think the model receiver right now, the model receivers in this league right now are DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, and Devontae Adams. They're not the fastest, but they're in and out of their routes quick. They get open consistently, and they can go up and get the ball. And remember how good Saquon was when we had Odell garnering attention down the field? Like that means something. Number one receiver takes that extra guy out of the box. The Steelers blitzed us with 9 guys almost every play. So that just shows you they really blitzed us. So imagine if they have to play Saquon straight up. Yeah, DK Metcalf, man. What's going on, Nicholas? DK Metcalf, eh, everybody just tried to just push him out of there because of his side to side change of direction stuff. Everybody just tried to dismiss him, but he's I really wish we had DK Metcalf because DK Metcalf is basically what everybody thought that Slayton could be, as far as just not the exact same player because he's obviously bigger and more physical and probably faster, but he's the deep threat that can consistently get downfield and burn people. Yeah, Julius Randle is a beast. I was kind of sick to lose him as a Lakers fan, but it ended up working out for us. I say it definitely ended up working out for us. Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, we should have never cut DeAndre Baker. He ended up being innocent, so we would have had a second corner. He would have come off of the commissioners. Oh, look at that pick! Packers just caught a pick. All right, let's check this out. Yeah, I don't want Quiddy Pay. I don't want him. He like all of these guys are athletic, but it doesn't mean that they're going to translate to the NFL when you have polished, like really polished receivers at the top of this draft. It's really going to make me angry if we draft the edge rusher that doesn't do anything his first year, and then we're watching Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts tearing up the league. Like I want a guy who I'm really sure about. If you're picking in the top 10, you need to be really sure about it. If you want to talk about what we should have done, man, I wish we would have taken Aaron Donald instead of Odell. Because what did Odell really get us? Besides some highlights and some great memories. And I like Odell, but if we had Aaron Donald right now, that'd be ridiculous. If we had Aaron Donald, that'd be a complete game changer. That's a pass rush all by itself. Yeah, it would never be good to trade for him at this point, but to have drafted him in 2014 would have been amazing. But I remember the top receiver in that draft coming out was Sammy Watkins. It was like a no-brainer. Sammy Watkins was at the top. What's going on, Vance? Yeah, Odell gave us the boat trip. He gave us the Lil Wayne interview. He gave us the catch and the loss. What's going on, Richard? So I mean, he gave us some solid memories, but at the end of the day, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I'd rather have Aaron Donald. I don't know. Maybe I would take Zach Martin too, but I'd definitely take Aaron Donald. Isaiah Simmons would be solid right now. He's getting better every week. But Andrew Thomas, I think is going to be like, I think he's going to be, I think he's our left tackle for the next like 10, 12 years at least. So I'm happy with Andrew Thomas. That's cool. I'm cool with Dylan Moses as a second round pick. Well, the Browns at that point were a complete mess. Johnny Manziel had the potential to be a good player, but off the field he was ridiculous. He was a nutcase. Like addiction is that's a mess, man. And then you had him and Josh Gordon together. That was a mess. But I think Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith are like I'm the most confident about those guys as far as the receiver position. I'm really confident about Penei Sewell. If you draft him, he's at the very worst a starting guard. That's going to be really dominant at guard. But he can be a right tackle, left tackle. If he falls, would I be angry, like pissed if we took him and played him at right tackle? No, but we need a weapon. That's what we need the most. We need a weapon by far. Yeah, Green Bay is giving them the business. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no excuse. We got to take a wide receiver. There's like if we come out of this offseason without taking a guy who we feel like this dude is a number one beast wide receiver, at that point, what are we doing? It's obvious that we're just ignoring people. We got 68 people in here. Everybody leave a like to let people know I'm streaming. Definitely love the support, man. This is the most people I ever had in the stream. Yeah, we got 68 people. Let's get 68 likes. But Jalen Waddle in college was definitely better than Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith was the second guy, and now he's finally getting a chance to shine. But I like Devontae Smith just because he's a little bit taller. Well, a lot taller. Well, I'm an LSU fan, so I'm kind of biased. I got like the that's why I wanted Justin Jefferson. Bad, man. But I like Chase the most, but Devontae Smith is a little bit faster. But I would say that Jamar Chase is probably better in and out of his cuts, and he's better in the contested catches. But Devontae Smith can really, get busy with the contested catches too. Yeah, I mean, I think if we can add just wherever it comes from. It's Vance. That's a whole different discussion, man. That is, you guys don't understand. When I was scouting Quentin Nelson, like that was the best football player that I had ever scouted. Looking at his tape, man, the best football player that I had ever seen in college. Now I'm not that old, but the all the tape that I've looked at over the years, Quentin Nelson was the best football player that I had seen in college. He dominated. Like I would not have been angry if we would have taken Quentin Nelson. Now we got Will Hernandez, who's not anywhere close to Quentin Nelson, but he's a starting guard, so I can't be angry. Saquon gives us a lot of explosion, but Quentin Nelson is a monster. We probably would have taken a running back probably in the later rounds or signed somebody. It's pretty easy to find a running back, but I mean nobody's going to be as good as Saquon that we would have found there. So, but Quentin Nelson, man, I wanted to draft Quentin Nelson just like I wanted to draft Brandon Scherf. I liked him coming out of college. I'm not sure who are running. We probably stay with Wayne Gallman. It's probably like we probably bring in another veteran, and Wayne Gallman probably would have emerged as that top receiver. But the offensive line probably would have been a little bit better because you got Quentin Nelson there. So who knows who we take in that second round of the draft? We can play woulda, shoulda, coulda. Let's look at that second round of the 2018 draft because that's when we took Will Hernandez. Yeah, they hardly give the ball to Wayne Gallman. They hardly use him, man. I guess today we were down, so maybe you have the excuse, but last week that was inexcusable. They use Alfred Morris way too much because for some reason they like to keep the running back on the sideline for entire drives, and you get this drive and you get this drive instead of switching people in and out. Yeah, I mean everybody wanted Josh Allen when we took Daniel Jones. I mean I like Daniel Jones at this point, but I don't know. Listen, listen. Maybe the Giants do need to sign you because 1,000 yards that means you can catch the football. So even if you give us, 400 yards or 300 yards or whatever you can give us, it'll be better because you can catch the football. I don't see holes on the offensive line. I definitely disagree with that. What's going on, Tyler? Um, I don't see holes on the offensive line. Kevin Zeitler is really solid, although he's probably going to be gone. Matt Peart has been developing and is probably going to take over that. He's probably going to take over that right tackle spot. Andrew Thomas looks great. Will Hernandez has been, at the very least, an above-average starter, and Nick Gates has been like, if you look at the tape, Nick Gates has been borderline Pro Bowl level at that center spot, which is crazy because he's coming from a tackle spot. The last 2 weeks they struggled, but for most of the season they've been really good. Uh, it's all about if Matt Peart can step up and be that right tackle. Obviously, um, when that right tackle leaves, I can't think of his name. I wanted to call him Marshall Newhouse, but Cam Fleming. Whenever he leaves, it's all about if Matt Peart can step up. Yeah, we might have. Yeah, a lot of people ignore that, but I don't. I think Jabril Peppers is amazing. You should check out my film session. Jabril Peppers is playing out of his mind. He's better. Like right now, he's having a better season, like play in and play out than Landon Collins did in 2016. Now he's not making the turnovers, but he's having a really great season. Let's scroll up here. Yeah, I don't know who we take, but as I was saying, a lot of people ignore that. I think that Odell Zeitler, I think that entire Browns thing was pretty much just Odell and Olivier Vernon for Kevin Zeitler and Peppers and those picks. I think that was all one big trade. It just kind of got spaced out. I doubt that they would trade Olivier Vernon straight up for Kevin Zeitler. I'll check out. I'll look back in the chat and check out your highlight tape, Reese. If that's how you pronounce your name, Reese. Yeah, Peppers has been having a great year, and Washington gave Landon Collins way too much money. I wouldn't be mad fishing if we made the playoffs. Like I was saying earlier in the chat for those who weren't here. Um, if the Giants make the playoffs, I won't be mad. But if we miss out on a receiver, I'll be mad. I mean, it's a win-win and it's a lose-lose. Either way, they'll be. Oh, they're coming after. They're coming after Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, the special teams is really taking a step back. It'll definitely be a real big experience for. It'll definitely be a lot of great experience for a young team to make the playoffs this year. But at the same time, it'll be a better experience to get a beast in here at wide receiver to really start making some plays. And then you bring Saquon back, and then you have two guys that can score at any point. So there are pluses and minuses to everything. Because I think if we make the playoffs, maybe we have a shot at Kyle Pitts, maybe we have a shot at Pat Fryermuth, and maybe we have a shot at Rondell Moore or Rashad Bateman. I don't think that any one of those other receivers are going to be there. Yes, Darius Smith is. I mean, those Smith signings for the Packers have been that was really paid off. They really flipped that defense in a year. Now they haven't been the same this year, but their pass rush is really moving. Wow, is that him coming through again? Yeah, they're all over him. They're all over him. That's crazy. Yeah, Jalen Hurt. I think the Eagles are eliminated. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're eliminated though. I think it's either Washington, Dallas, or the Giants that are going to make the playoffs. I'm not sure how that works. I wish Jerry Reese nothing but the best, man. He put he really stole the entire second half of Eli's career by not putting an offensive line around him and not putting a good roster around him in general. But I mean, he drafted Victor Cruz, he drafted JPP. Those people got us a Super Bowl, so whatever. He can go ahead and wish him the best. I just know I just hope he just learned to finally build the offensive line if he gets a job. Yeah, the Titans are getting punished. Yeah, making the playoffs does it does add an extra week to the season at the very least. What's going on in the Foreman? Yeah, like that's what I thought. I thought the Eagles were eliminated. You got a Cowboys fan in here. So the Foreman, do you want to make the playoffs? You want to make the playoffs? Let me know because I'm kind of on the fence if I want my team to make the playoffs. Now I know if I'm a Cowboys fan, I would want us to lose, and I would want a high pick because you're getting your starting quarterback next year. I want the high pick next year. Yeah, I don't think there's any way that Jalen Hurts loses to Dwayne Haskins. Maybe they lose to Alex Smith, but I don't. I think Jalen Hurts is playing way too good. I think the most dangerous team that will make the playoffs at this point, the way all these teams are playing, is probably Philly. That's if Jalen Hurts can bounce back. But the way he was playing before, they were looking pretty dangerous. Yeah, Odell, he wasn't good at saying what he wanted. Odell kind of got a bad rep as a cancer to the team when he just wanted to win and he just wasn't good at really expressing himself. But that ankle injury messed him up, man. Like I think they did like an ESPN sports science thing where they showed his change of directions where his ankles had like extra flexibility. I think that flexibility is probably gone after that injury against the Browns in that preseason game. I think that flexibility is gone because he doesn't have the same kind of separation in his routes. He just doesn't look like the same guy. And then, of course, he never really synced with Baker too much, but even still, he's just not the same guy. It's sad. That's good luck to you. I ran into that's that. I hope can't find a said Rogers. All right, yeah, that's good luck for you, man. If Rogers is carrying you to a championship, I ran into Alvin Kamara this week. What's going on, Unlimited Liquid? It's a real OG. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I would want to be in the playoffs. Devontae Adams, man, I take him. I take him. Like Devontae Adams and Michael Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins, they just show you don't have to be the fastest receiver in the league. You just got to get open on these routes and go up and get the ball when you need to. And that's what we need, a number one guy that can run all the routes, that can go up and get the ball, and that can bail the quarterback out when they make an errant throw. Yeah, Devontae Smith is going to be a star. Jamar Chase to me is a no-brainer. Like he's a no-brainer star. But just like every time I see Devontae Adams or one of these wide receivers here, man, it just makes me sick because we just need one. We just need one. Devontae Adams, I'm pretty sure is maybe he's 26. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, Alabama is a wide receiver fact. Yeah, Devontae Adams is 28 now. He's 28 now. Yeah, I just want to see Daniel Jones with a receiver. If Daniel Jones has like adequate weapons, whoa, we got 87 people in the stream. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate all this love in the stream. Like I said, we got 87 people. Let's get 87 likes. But yeah, if we can just get that number one guy, if Daniel Jones looks like a bum at that point, then I mean, get rid of him. But I'm pretty sure if you give him that number one weapon today, this game, I don't know about the outcome of the game, but the offense looks a lot better. Because you got guys just setting the team back because they can't get open or they can't catch the ball when they're open. Or they can't make the contested catches. Yeah, Devontae Adams, he's probably got about 4 more years of like real good football. He'll probably take a step back at that point, but it seems like he's just really young. Winning the NFC East is like winning the Special Olympics. Maybe I shouldn't pin that. Maybe YouTube doesn't like it, but it is. It is, man. I don't know what will happen in the playoffs. Anything is possible, but winning the NFC East, especially in a way that it looks like somebody will win it, it's not going to feel like you really won anything. Yeah, let's let, like I said, let them get 3 years. People are saying, "Oh, we should have drafted Josh Allen," but last year they weren't saying that. So give him 3 years, see how he looks in his third year. They have a rookie deal for a reason. You have a decision if you want to bring him back or not. They're gonna make the decision to get his. Pretty sure after next year they make that decision if they want to give him the rookie extension thing on his first thing, the 5th-year deal, 5th-year extension. So they'll make that decision at that point. Yeah, AJ Dillon is huge. Yeah, it was so disrespectful. That's pretty much what made me mad. Baltimore was playing cover zero. They were blitzing and they were just pressing the receivers at the line of scrimmage and no one was getting open. Like no one could get open at that point, and they just sent the blitz and just said, "We dare one of you to beat us over the top," and they couldn't do it the entire game. And that's why you saw Jason Garrett taking more shots down the field, but they couldn't capitalize because no one was open. A lot of times the offensive line, they're getting so much hate today because of the amount of sacks we gave up. But a lot of times the offensive line picked up the blitz. Like the offensive line and the running back picked up the blitz and no one was open. And everybody's one-on-one man coverage with no safety help. It's like we got to get some receivers. It's not a joke at this point. Like there's no reason why we shouldn't be going into this next season with two more receivers that we feel are at least a 1 and a 2 receiver. Because I'm not sure about Darius Slayton at this point. And Shep is a slot guy. Now the metrics say that Shep is a guy who's better on the outside than the slot, but I don't even think he can be your number 2 receiver. Maybe he can with the bona fide number 1, but I have to see it before I believe it. Rogers going deep again. I think he was going for Robert Tanya right there, a guy who should be in the Pro Bowl over Evan Ingram. Yeah, it's disgusting. We can still make the playoffs. It really is. It's disgusting. Titans lost to Browns earlier this season. Browns might be in. I don't know, man. They just ran a fake field goal or they blocked it. This might be the Titans' only shot to finally score. It looks like he's going to take this back. Oh, he won't. Yeah, I'm okay with signing Corey Davis if we draft a receiver in the top 10 because I don't think that Corey Davis is going to. What's going on, Authentic? Yeah, it's a horrible Sunday. Yeah, Ingram should have never made the Pro Bowl. If we somehow get Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith and then sign Corey Davis, that's cool. That's cool. But I don't want them to bring Corey Davis in here and say we got our number 1 receiver because that's going to make me really angry because I don't see him as a number 1 guy at all. What's up, King Tone? Yeah, big shout out to Authentic. Go sub up his channel, Authentic in the Beard. They be putting quality content. When I found your channel, man, that was some quality content, man. It's real respect, and it's no wonder you grew so fast. That's some quality content. Um, I don't know, man. Maybe we might make it into the wild card. If we make it to the wild card, that defense is such a wild card. You never know. It's all about the matchup. I think if we're matched up against the Bucks, I think if we're matched up against the Bucks or the Seahawks or something like that, we might have a shot. But who knows? I just want some weapons. I just want to see some. I just want to see some plays happen, man. Just want to see some offense. Like imagine being in 2020. You said there's a super chat. I don't see a super chat here. But like imagine being in 2020 and not being able to see like scoring in 2020, and your entire team is healthy, your entire offense is healthy, and you can't put up 20 points consistently. And then you like your game goes off, and then you look at other teams putting up 30, 40 points like it's nothing with bad players, like with bad quarterbacks. I mean, just because their receivers get open. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Pat Graham either. They just are playing that soft zone, and yeah, Jersey tried to get me. I didn't see a super chat pop up, but we just got to get people open and get people to catch the ball. The scheme is messed up, and we got to get some more talent. It's getting ridiculous, man. Like I was mad in my video. I don't know if y'all saw it earlier, but I was pissed off. I just don't want to see that again. A team play cover zero against us the entire game, and nobody get open. And you got okay. Pat Pat Mahomes last week scrambled left, threw it across his body on the sideline, on the left sideline, and somebody toe dragged and caught it for a touchdown, and that made all of the ESPN highlights. Daniel Jones did that today to Dante Pettis. Now, we lost the game and we didn't score 15 points, so who cares? But obviously, he's extending plays and making plays for his team. And you got people that still can't get open. Big drip, the Cowboys might have it. It's just all about that next week. I see Washington losing regardless. I see Washington losing regardless. So it's ever who wins this last game. And I know right now I'm saying I'd rather have the receiver or the weapon, but I know Skip Bayless this week is gonna make me mad enough to start rooting for the Cowboys to lose to us. I I know Skip is gonna make me mad enough to start rooting for us to win and just forget the draft pick. Yeah, Pettis looks solid, and it makes me mad that he's been on the team for so long and he finally got snaps on offense. I mean, I guess it took Tate to get hurt, but I mean, just put Pettis on a streak and get down the field. Right now, I'm pretty sure the Giants are in third place. Hell to the Washington football. That's a new one. I haven't seen that hashtag yet, Yvonne. I haven't seen that hell to the Washington football team. I know the HTTR tag is still going crazy on Twitter. But yeah, as I was saying, the Giants are in third place. And the Giants, if they win next week and Washington loses, they'll win. They'll be in the playoffs. If the Cowboys win and Washington loses, they'll be in the playoffs. If Washington wins, they're in the playoffs regardless. Eagles are out. They're done. Yeah, Pettis should be the kick. Pettis should be the kick returner. Deion Lewis is back there for some reason. He's had a couple solid returns. But Pettis should be the returner, and he should be going deep. That's a dot to A.J. Brown, man. That's a dot to A.J. Brown. He threaded the needle. What's up, David? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they bring Corey Davis in here and say we got our number one guy, I'm gonna be heated. I'm gonna be heated. Now he's better than what we have. And like when we were in our like most desperate time, and we were like, we really need anybody to help, and we were trying to scramble to get anybody at the trade deadline, I would have taken him. But right now, come on, man. Corey Davis. No, no thanks. He can be our number two. David, I don't know who's going to win the division, but hopefully, I just hope the Giants can get some weapons, man. That's all I'm at. I don't care where we pick. If we can get a weapon that's our number one guy, I'll take it. But yeah, it's Allen Robinson or Galladay. If we can do that, I'll be cool. If I'm Gettleman, I sign Leonard Williams and I sign 2 wide receivers just because I've seen enough. Apparently, I've got a child in the chat, Andrew Black. I didn't know I had a sign, but yeah, I don't know, man. We just got to get some help. We win the Super Bowl. I mean, of course, I'd be happy. I mean, a lot of people they like to now. Hey, I'm a big proponent of running the football and running the air out of the ball, and they can't stop us and keep doing it. But you see Patrick Mahomes every week, and I think we won the OBJ trade. What's going on, New York Giants, Chris? But you see Mahomes every week. You see a couple of these quarterbacks, a couple of these teams every week with all these weapons. You just want to just finally just put up some points. It's like so ridiculous. It's like get some points on the board. See you next week, RS. That's the division game. But I think we won the authentic. I think we won the Odell trade. Let me find that. Yeah, Sonel, you might have to go, man. Both of y'all might have to go. You and apparently my son is in the chat acting crazy. But yeah, definitely hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's gonna let people know I'm streaming. But authentic, I think we won the trade because I don't think Odell is the same guy now. He'd be a lot better than what we have right now. But I think at this point he's not really explosive as he was, and I don't think he was worth paying all that money to. Like, if right now we re-sign Jabril Peppers and we re-sign Dexter Lawrence, and then in this draft we get a wide receiver who can be a dominant wide receiver, number one guy, I think at that point we win the trade. Now, if we never get a wide receiver that's number one and Daniel Jones fails because of it, and we don't re-sign those 2 guys, then at that point I think it's a draw. But the Browns didn't really win that trade either. Wide receiver, tight end, all day. Wide receiver or tight end all day, man. That's what we got to take, a weapon all day. It's no excuses. We don't know if those injuries occur, but like I said, after that ankle injury that he had against the Browns, he has never really been the same guy. Like, that ankle flexibility on his route running and his cuts is gone. Now, he's still spectacular. He's still be a number one guy for us, and he's still, to me, a top 10 guy in the league coming off this injury. But paying him a lot of money, I don't know. I don't know. Because we were paying him a lot. Yeah, that's the only reason I don't say we lost the trade, because the Browns won it. I mean, the Browns didn't win. So, I mean, if nobody won, I mean, I just say, maybe both teams lost the trade, but I think we got more out of it as far as how much it helped our team than the Browns did. Because the Browns, Odell hasn't really lifted their team to wins, and I think Jabril Peppers has helped our teams win games. Like, I think we got a lot more with Dexter Lawrence and Jabril Peppers. Maybe, I mean, can one day O'Shane Ximines make a play for us? Because if O'Shane Ximines turns into a starter and somehow is good, then we won that trade by far. Yeah, we can definitely win. I can see us winning against the Cowboys. That's a duck right there. AJ Brown got it. That's a first. RS John. 1 win. Yeah. RS, I'm gonna let Giants Nation. I mean, in this chat, it doesn't seem like these Giants fans are against DJ, but I think it's pretty much down the middle. It's down the middle. I'm a guy who believes that DJ is putting together good tape and is putting together like clean film and progressing by himself. Now the offense around him, I'm not sure. But he looks like he's getting better. But I mean, of course, if you don't give him any weapons and he doesn't eventually elevate the team, which is kind of unfair, then eventually he's going to get replaced, which is just facts. Yeah, our front four kind of took a step back. I think they're just running out of gas, man. Like they had Fackrell with them. They had Fackrell there. They just lost too many guys. After a while, you just lose too many people. We lost Lorenzo Carter. We lost O'Shane Zimenez. We traded away Marcus Golden because he couldn't cover. But we could definitely use Marcus Golden right now. And at this point, man, oh yeah, let me put this up. I didn't make a video about the Logan Ryan deal. I was pretty busy over the holiday weekend, but the Logan Ryan deal, I don't know how to feel about it. I think he'll definitely help. I think he's the perfect fit for the defense that we play. But you drafted Xavier McKinney. You're probably looking to re-sign Jabril Peppers in the future, and Jabril Peppers is a lot younger. So, do you really want to have three safeties that you spent premium resources on? No, they're going to be on the field together a lot, but I don't know how to feel. That $9 million could have gone towards a wide receiver, could have gone towards a pass rusher. So I don't know. Yvonne, I didn't see the Washington football game. I kind of clicked on and off. Haskins fell back down to Haskins level. Last week he looked pretty solid to me and what I saw, but this week he kind of fell back off. What's going on in this chat? Let me see. Yeah, like I said, I mean, as far as the front four and the D line, I think they're just tired. They're playing a whole bunch of snaps, and I think they're just tired. It's because they were getting so much pressure before, and it just looks like they're just out of gas. I don't know. Yeah, McKinney had a good game today. I think he had his best game so far. I've been doing the film sessions on him, and to me, he's been playing solid. He's been playing his assignments, but people want him to have 20 interceptions in the 3 games that he's played, 4 games. I think if we had Odell right now and he was healthy, I think Odell gets us two, 3 more wins. Because you guys have to realize Odell, Saquon, those two guys were a threat to score from pretty much anywhere on the field. Those two guys regularly produce 30-plus yard plays. We don't have that on this offense. We just don't have it. Yeah, McKinney missed some tackles. Um, I say he was seeing the field better today, but his tackling was people were missing tackles all over the field. People were missing tackles all over the place. I don't know what's happened. It's like this team started off missing tackles against that Pittsburgh team. They got better at it and they were pretty sound at it. And then all of a sudden, teams are realizing that you can throw it short and then expect this defense to try to come up and make the tackle, and they haven't been able to do it. Isaac Yaldum had a horrible game trying to make open field tackles. What's going on? What do you think about people killing Leo Williams? Um, I don't know, man. I mean, Leonard Williams to me, I say Bradbury obviously after last week, probably is our most important guy. Then I would say it's Leonard Williams. Martinez has been amazing. The safeties have been amazing, but I think Leo has been the pass rush. He consistently gets double and triple teamed. He's got like Isaac Yadam. I would say he's not. He's not a second corner. He's a bump and run man corner, but he's not good at it. So James Bradbury is covering for these people, and it's just we just don't have the talent there. But even then, the defense still has the potential to only give up what 25 a game or less. I mean, we went against a really good team today that's probably going to win a couple playoff games finally this year. But yeah, this is some good. I usually don't get too much craziness in the chat. I had to get a couple people out, but other than that, we're pretty good. But if the defense plays like how they played most of this year, even with the deficiencies at the second corner spot and the pass rush, like if we get some offense that can put up 28 a game, that's that. Because and you know AO 45, you know why we can't score in the red zone? Because no one can run routes well enough in the red zone to get open. No one can do that consistently in the red zone to get open. Trevor Lawrence isn't coming to the Giants. There's no way. I'm definitely open to a collab with Authentic. I'm definitely open to that. I got him on Twitter. We can see what's going on with that. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, he's going number one. He's going number one. And that was the only guy I was ready to throw DJ under the bus for. Because I seen all I needed to see from Trevor Lawrence and know I think he's going to be a star. We got Aaron Rodgers throwing another. See, I don't like Aaron Rodgers, man. He'd rather run out of bounds than to just throw it up for a Hail Mary. What's going on, Big Task? I remember you earlier on in the chat. If our defense goes back to like it was. Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, it's all about matchups in football. What's going on, Pedro? It's all about matchups in football. We match up well against the teams that like to take those deep shots because we play not to give up the deep shots. But the Ravens are fine throwing it 8-10 yards every play. They're fine doing that. They're fine throwing it 8 to 12 to 15 yards every play, and they'll go down the field. Yeah, I heard the Knicks they're doing their thing. Haskins had the worst game you ever seen from a quarterback. Yeah, we can definitely make that happen. That collab with Authentic, definitely. They make some really good content over there. You guys go ahead and leave in the chat what the worst game that you saw from a quarterback ever in your life watching NFL football. Me, I say it had to be a tie between EJ Manuel and that London game. Probably like 5-6 years ago, maybe even more. And then I say Joe Webb in that playoff game when he was the quarterback for the Vikings. And then maybe Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci was horrible. Ben DiNucci was awful, man. Ben DiNucci was awful, man. But Ben DiNucci was at least entertaining because of the sidearm. Calling him Dana Jones, man. People will kill me, man. When they don't like a player, they come up with all names for him. Louis T, I seen a couple of his videos. I'll be open to working with anybody as long as they're cool, man. Yeah, Ben DiNucci, man. He really looked. I felt bad for him because I mean he was playing football at JMU. He had no business in the NFL. I don't know who will win next week. The Cowboys put up a lot of points, so I don't know. The Giants defense can come into play. Now the Cowboys, they get a lot of big plays, so if the Giants defense can stop those plays and make Andy Dalton make mistakes, we can win the game. If we can run the football against them, we win the game. Maybe DJ keeps it on these option plays because he's going to be a little bit healthier. It can go either way. But either way, my goal, like my mind is already in the off season. Yeah, Ben DiNucci look horrible. Oh no worries, Yvonne. I seen a couple of videos. I've actually been subbed to him for a while, so um, yeah, he makes good videos. But yeah, I'm already in the off season, man. I'm looking for a receiver. Like I'm probably this whole week gonna be just looking at receiver tape just to see who I think is the best, just to see if we somehow make the playoffs, who's gonna be there. I think I like Rashad Bateman. He's a big, fast receiver. Maybe we take him, but I don't see him as like a bona fide come in. He's the number one guy. Yeah, because those statue quarterbacks, they can't move out of the way of Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. It's a wrap. Dalton isn't a statue, but I think Leonard Williams is probably going to run down Dalton. And let's keep it real. Dalton shouldn't have thrown those passes at the end of the game. There was blatant holding. Yeah, Dalton isn't a statue though. But I think Leonard Williams is running him down. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm fine. Hey, big shout out to y'all, man. I'm over 100 viewers right now in this stream. I'm over 100 people. Let's get some more likes in here. I'm at 69 likes right now. But yeah, I mean either way, if Garrett, because Garrett depends on his receivers to be superstars, so the offense will get better, but it's not like they will take that huge next. Like when you watch the Chiefs, man, Andy Reid schemes like 14 points on the board every week. Andy Reid schemes at least two touchdowns every week onto the board. Like Garrett, he like I don't get it, man. I don't get what he's seeing when he looks at film. Like when he looks at what he called, he doesn't change it. He just says we got to do it, you know, with more determination. Like one thing I'll give him credit for is bringing those receivers in to block on these running backs when he's in like the I formation. He brings in a receiver behind the line of scrimmage to block. He did it at the beginning of the season. It never worked ever. We consistently lost yards, and he just kept doing it. And now we get yards out of it. I mean, I can't be mad. He'll just keep doing it. He'll just keep doing it until he see it work. If it doesn't work, he'll still keep doing it. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna go grab me a drink of water. Yeah, but Jason Garrett, man, he's an issue for me. I kind of got like today he didn't call the best game, but he didn't really call the worst game because and I'm glad you brought Evan Ingram up. Um, Evan Ingram, he used him kind of the way that I want to see Evan Ingram used, which is in the shallow crosses, using his speed, getting across the field. That's how he scored that touchdown last year against the Bucks. Shallow crosses and down the seams. Like that's how you use that speed. And he rarely does it until this game. And of course, Evan Ingram is having a good game and he gets hurt. Like that's why I'm done with dude. Just get Kyle Pitts in here. That's why I'm down with him. I made like 7 videos about Evan Ingram this offseason. I thought he was going to be a bona fide #1 pass catcher on this offense, and he just really let me down. Yeah, he's the only person that seems like he's not using the player's strengths. I don't get it. Yeah, you know who's I'm trying to think of who it is that claps a lot. There's another coach that claps even more than Jason Garrett. I can't even think of him. Yeah, Freddie Kitchens actually had Evan Ingram running up the seams, man. I don't like you got a tight end that's running a 4-4 flat, basically a 4-3 tight end, and you don't use him down the field. The Packers are going to get exposed. I just think, I mean, I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan. I respect, what he's done and all that stuff, but the Packers are going to get exposed, man. In the playoffs, they're going to get lit up. Like I just yeah, Alex Smith is it's just a miracle he's out there. But the Packers, I mean, I just see Aaron Rodgers. I just see Aaron Rodgers as like they thought that Aaron Rodgers is what Patrick Mahomes is. Like when Patrick Mahomes came, he just made me kind of forget about everything that Aaron Rodgers did. It's like he got a stronger arm. He's a little bit faster. Um, I don't know, man. He makes the same kind of throws except a little bit better. Yeah, shout out to the Seahawks, man. I just want Russ to. I wish Russ. I just want him to finally win an MVP. I feel bad for him. He starts off every year like on that track to get the MVP, and then he falls off. I was saying put Alex Smith in week 1, week 2, and I had Washington fans killing me in the comments, talking all types of crazy stuff in the comments. And now they're just. I had them coming back. Oh man, I guess you was right. I guess we should have put in Alex Smith. I didn't think he gave us the best chance, but I guess he does. I thought Haskins was going to do it. Man, Haskins isn't Haskins. Nah, man, Haskins, no, 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 no. I haven't even looked at in Evan Ingram's injury thing. Let's see. Yeah, authentic. The thing is, DJ has kind of turned into that. He's been making like. When is the last time you seen him put the ball in real danger? Like DJ, he's cleaned up the interceptions and the way he got hit today, he really cleaned up the fumbles. Like he really cleaned up the fumbles too. So that's why now it seems like Alex Smith has got he's not Alex Smith. It seems like Daniel Jones has got the foundation, but we just got to work on that foundation and get him a #1 guy. Because if you don't really have that #1 guy, can you really be anything but a game manager? Like Kyler Murray last year, was he really anything above a game manager? Like, and this isn't a knock on Kyler Murray, but once he got DeAndre Hopkins, all of a sudden he's putting up he's going to have 34 touchdowns in total, including rushing this year. It opened up the offense completely. Last year he was throwing screen after screen after screen after screen. All of a sudden he's throwing it 40 yards down the field every other play. I don't count Tom Brady. I don't count Tom Brady out ever. So maybe they end up in the Super Bowl. Maybe they don't, but I don't ever count him out. I don't ever count him out, man. I really don't see. It's just hard to keep him out of a Super Bowl. I don't really see like the NFC quarterback that's going to bona fide like step up and make sure that the Bucks don't make the Super Bowl. And I know Bill Belichick is angry. Now I left this comment on a Fist Vegas video. Shout out to Fist Vegas, man. But I left this comment on a Fist Vegas video saying name a quarterback on his rookie contract that doesn't have a bona fide number one receiver that's playing well. So people said Jalen Hurts, and that's fair. He's played like 4 games. Let's see how he looks next year. And then people said Lamar Jackson, and he ran for 1,000 yards. So who knows what's going on with that? But it's really hard to find a quarterback on his rookie deal that doesn't have a number one receiver that is playing well. Man, I was saying Robbie Anderson. I wanted Robbie Anderson. I'm like, Robbie Anderson is still a free agent? Like, Robbie Anderson is still a free agent? Like, why isn't anybody signing him? What's going on? And now we see him in Carolina tearing it up. Like, it's just get some weapons, man. That I'm going to end up saying that a bunch of times. Just get some weapons. Oh no. We For some reason I just think a lot like Fitz Vegas. That dude has a lot of the same ideas I have. I don't think I was as much on the Daniel Jones train as him. Like he was saying he was Peyton Manning with legs, but we just have a lot of the same ideas. But yeah, Robbie Anderson, that makes me mad every time I see him because fine, you don't want to trade for Diggs, fine. You don't want to trade for Hopkins, that's cool. But to not, man, to not get Robbie Anderson, that's just disrespectful to me. To not draft any of those receivers in a draft where they were saying this is like the best wide receiver draft in like 20 years. To not take any receivers that entire draft, that's just disrespectful to the fan base. Yeah, Fisk was saying draft CeeDee Lamb at number 4. I don't know because if we took CeeDee Lamb at number 4, this offensive line would be looking bad. But he did bring up a good point. Fans have been satisfied with Matt Parrott, and if Matt Parrott was good enough to play left tackle, then CeeDee Lamb probably would be more impactful. But I think Andrew Thomas is going to be like a 12-year guy for us. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler. James King, stick Andy Dalton on the Giants offense. You're not. It's not going to work out for you, man. And I don't blame you because I mean, what's the point in believing in another team's quarterback that doesn't have the stats or anything? But what I saw today was inexcusable. It was disgusting. Those receivers couldn't create any separation. Yeah, that was. Well, Fitz still maintains that point that he wanted CeeDee Lamb, and he was kind of like I think he wanted that receiver so much that he was kind of lying to himself because uh, there's no way that you want to go into the next year with Nate Solder. I was trying to get him out of there, but maybe the offense does look better with CeeDee Lamb. Maybe they do. But I think that Andrew Thomas is going to be our franchise left tackle, so I'm cool with it as long as we get a receiver this offseason. I wanted the receiver in the second round, the third round, the fourth round, something like that, and I wanted a receiver last free agency. Man, I did not notice that. I did not notice that. I did not notice that I got the old logo. I didn't notice that. I just threw up a NFC East picture. But yeah, if we'd have been able to figure out how to trade back and get 2 picks, that would have been solid. Because CeeDee Lamb fell to like 20 something. So if we'd have been able to trade back and get somebody like Mekhi Becton and him, that would have been great. But Lamb is a beast. Yeah, I'm so used to seeing that Washington logo, I didn't even notice. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people say they don't want to call them the Washington football team. I just do it. I don't really care either way. They might keep that name though. They're saying that that's like up in the that's towards the top of their list. That's one of their top options for the new name. So they might be the Washington football team forever, especially if they win the division. Okay, Tannehill. Oh, Tannehill is gone. He's gone. That's it. Yeah, authentic Waddle. Like I was saying, people in the early on in the stream, Waddle reminds me of Steve Smith, except he's like running like a 4-2. Devontae Smith is like your regular fast, high jumping receiver that can run some routes too. And then Jamar Chase is just a route god who can attack the football up in the air. James King is in here having a conniption. Who compared DJ to Tannehill? First off, DJ is faster than Tannehill. I don't know what you're talking about, James King. We could literally pull up a play of DJ running a touchdown in. That's we could really show a play of DJ running a touchdown in on that exact same play that's faster than Tannehill. I mean, enjoy what you got with those Cowboys, man. Enjoy what you got with those Cowboys because it's not much to look forward to as long as you got Jerry Jones, Mr. Jones, as the boss. Y'all gonna win the Super Bowl this year? Or are y'all gonna win the Super Bowl this year? Because every year the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'd rather take. The reason I'm leaning towards Devontae Smith is because of that height, and the same thing with Jamar Chase. They're both not the tallest, but they both get up and they both go up and get the ball. Yeah, DJ did fake that cameraman out against Washington and was gone for like 40, 50 yards. Yeah, man. It the people that hate Daniel Jones, Cowboys fans, Giants fans, all these fans, like it's like they hate Daniel Jones more than anybody could love Daniel Jones. It's like you should want Daniel Jones to keep playing. Like I want Dwayne Haskins to keep playing. I like what I see from Dwayne Haskins out there. If you think he's that bad, you should want him to keep playing. Yeah, Judge might look to them first, but I just hope that these people don't say that they want to be the Patriots and just ignore the fact that we need a receiver. Yeah, man. I don't know. Because there was like I think that report was fake because that was right after that Colombo situation when there was a lot of fake news, fake stuff coming out. And There was a lot of fake stuff coming out, and they were saying that Joe Judge and the Patrick Graham were saying that they don't need edge rushers and they don't need receivers to win because they didn't need it in New England. So who knows? I hope that's not true because you need some receivers and you need edge rushers. You're not Bill Belichick, and you don't have Tom Brady. You don't have the GOAT bailing you out after you don't get a pass rush, and you don't have anybody to throw to down the field. See, Wayne Gallman is a free agent, so Wayne Gallman probably is going to leave. The Giants are probably going to take a running back probably in like the third or fourth round or something. Oh, Aaron Jones is gone. Are you kidding me, man? You got to score. But Dakota's the GOAT. I like Dak Prescott, but I mean, yeah, people have been saying that Gettleman is done. I don't know. But yeah, with Saquon, I doubt it. I doubt that Wayne Gallman comes back. I think the Giants will end up just taking a running back, and like the fourth or fifth round or something. Because Wayne Gallman, he can pretty much do everything that Saquon does, except not as well. So he probably wants to be, in a rotation where he'll get consistent carries. He'll have a shot to be pretty good. So I think he'll leave. But yeah, I'm up in the air about Gettleman. At this point, I don't care if Gettleman comes back or not. I just want whoever is drafting to take a receiver. Whatever they do after that, I'll have to live with. Just wow. Devontae Adams is wide open like that, man. Come on. Like today, the Giants offense, mind you, they found a way to mess up every drive at the end of the drive by drops and not getting open and flags and stuff. But the Giants offense they looked the best that they've looked in a while going away from the run game. Even though we probably put up more points with that run game, but they went away from it. But they were functioning really well. Yeah, that's a smart move to take Devontae Adams. Yeah, Washington is a wild card because when they match up against some of these offensive lines, man, they just win certain games just because of their front. But like I was saying, we got to use. Thank you all. We got to use Barkley. I was just saying that we got to use Barkley like Alvin Kamara. Like we need to use Alvin Kamara. We need to use him like Alvin Kamara, or at least like Christian McCaffrey, because he's way too talented to just be. Oh, if we get down, we don't run with Barkley. Are you serious, man? You don't give Barkley the ball when you're down, when you could just be throwing it to him. I don't know about a Super Bowl, Rock Band. I don't know about a Super Bowl. I don't get that. Like you gotta I need Saquon touching the ball 18 times at the least every game. That's rushes and catches at the very least on a game where he didn't get the ball a lot. He needs the ball 18 times. You want the so you think that the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl this year with Andy Dalton? If you think they're winning with Andy Dalton, you might as well kiss Dak goodbye. There's no point in paying him if he can win it with Andy Dalton. Yeah, Kamara went crazy. You think Pitts is Ingram? See, Kyle Pitts doesn't show that he's Kyle Pitts hasn't shown that he has weak hands. Like he catches everything that goes to him. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just know that they need to use Barkley in the slot some more. It was a ton of times where they could have had Barkley in the slot, Gallman in the backfield, and I just can't wait to see the option too with DJ and Barkley. I don't know who's winning the East, man. Like in my honest opinion, I'll tell you I don't know who's winning the East because Washington could very easily overwhelm Jalen Hurts and win it. The the Cowboys could very easily put up a bunch of points against the Giants and win it. And the Giants could very easily play some defense and squeak out a victory. Who knows, man? Like this division is a complete mess. It's garbage. One thing about Eli, he was getting that ball to Saquon in the flat, man. He was getting that ball to Saquon. He had like almost 100 catches as a rookie. That might be a fumble. They're calling that a pass. Like I said, James King, I don't know if you were in this stream earlier, but if I'm a Cowboys fan, I want them to lose because first off, y'all are going to lose probably Michael Gallup this offseason. If you want to replace that, you could get a wide receiver that's better in the draft, or you can get somebody to replace on that offensive line. And then you have that coming back next year. That'd be crazy. Man, I do not want a Sunday night game. I don't want to wait all Sunday to see the Giants lose or not show up. I don't want to see that. The last couple of years, I just want these Giants games to be 1 o'clock games and just get them over with, get the win out of the way or get the loss out of the way because it's been all downhill the last couple of years. Hey, but listen, whatever NFC East team makes the play, oh, he dropped that? Are you kidding me? But whatever NFC East team wins the division, I'm gonna be rooting for him at least that first one. At least the first week, I'm gonna be rooting for him because people talk so much trash about this division. I'm gonna be rooting for them. I'm gonna be rooting for whatever team makes it because people are gonna talk trash and say that they have no business in the playoffs and whine and complain about it. I'm gonna be rooting for them to get that first win at least. Yep. Listen, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to face any of these NFC East teams if they make the playoffs because first off, they be coming off of a win. Second off, man, like you just never know with a team like that ends up in the playoffs. You don't want to take them lightly. You don't want to let your guard down. Like who knows, man? Yeah, Ravens coming off of 40 points back to back, and I think I'm not sure if they got to 30 today, but they could have. Yeah, the Giants came out with the blueprint for Russell Wilson. It didn't work. Washington wasn't able to implement it, but the Giants sure was. Yeah, Dwayne Haskins is not the answer at quarterback. I don't. Man, that dude was playing bad. What they have, Heineke or Heineken? Yeah, somebody playing that came in and did a better job. Luis, the Giants make the playoffs if they beat the Cowboys next week and Washington loses. The Cowboys make the playoffs if they beat the Giants next week and Washington loses. And if Washington wins, they're in the playoffs. Eagles are done. I don't know if Alex Smith comes back, I give him a little bit better shot. Yeah, Haskins. Haskins is bad, man. Haskins is bad. Haskins is horrible. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I give them a better shot definitely with Alex Smith than I do with Dwayne Haskins. They're saying that it's a shot that he'll be back, but if he's not back, that's already a loss for him. Jalen Hurts will tear them to shreds. If Haskins is turning over the ball and giving them short fields, that's it, man. Either way, I think the Eagles will be favored in that game. Washington plays Washington plays the Eagles. Yeah, Haskins is he's not only is he playing bad, and mind you, Haskins today left the stadium, didn't do a post game interview. He's throwing another tantrum. Just when we thought that he was maturing and he was turning the corner, as soon as he gets his job back and he's not playing well, he gets benched. He starts acting the same way. Appreciate that, Luis. Uh, yeah, if I'm Washington, man, I wanted to lose a lot more games so I could take Zach Wilson, but they're already in it, man. I mean, I guess maybe they could take Trey Lance. Maybe they can make a some kind of a package deal and trade up, but they're in quarterback hell at this point. Taylor Heineke might give them a better shot than Haskins if they start Heineke. He'll give them a better shot than Haskins. But Haskins is a mess, man. Like, not only are you going to play bad, but you're also going to be a distraction, and you're also going to go to the strip club with no mask. I would cut him if I was the coach. I wouldn't have it. I just like Zach Wilson's tools. I just like that he can create and he has an arm. He has like a rocket arm. He's not Mahomes level, but he has a rocket arm. That's what I'm saying. I cut him. Like I'm like, you want to walk out of the stadium? Well, don't come back. Coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook. Coach wants to see you. Bring your playbook. Give me a second. All right. Yeah. But like I was saying, man, he definitely get the hard knocks treatment where his coach wants to see you, bring your playbook. But I don't even want to have an exit meeting with him. He's got to just go. He's just got to go because like you leave the stadium like that after you embarrass us. Like you embarrassed the team. Like we didn't do anything to you. Yeah, yeah. James is right, Mickey. I don't see Odell signing a veteran minimum. I doubt that. But I think Odell might get cut after this season. That'd be crazy if he came back. I don't think he's the same guy, but that'd be a good story if he came back. I'd take him back. I still want a receiver after that though. Obviously, I mean, I guess Benjamin Victor isn't that good, so maybe that's why he's not there. But yeah, man. I mean, as long as we get some kind of a weapon, I'm good, man. I don't care if we win next week. I don't care if we lose next week. We just gotta just. I just want to see something different because it's just been forever, and we haven't seen anything exciting this entire season. I mean, maybe the most exciting play all season was Daniel Jones taking off on a run and tripping because that was like the longest play. Saquon at least gave us a play at least every 2 games, like a 45-yard play where he's hurdling and spinning and all of that. But that's just done at this point. Yeah, I think the injuries definitely hurt us at outside linebacker. Yeah, man. See what we got going in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I just think I would have cut Haskins after he did that today. Like the first time, okay, you're learning, and then he came back with the team. He's cheering on Alex Smith. He's cooperating. He's being a model citizen. Then you go to the strip club. Then you play bad, and then you just storm out of the stadium. I'd be like, man, don't come back. Find your way home and just stay there. You're done because like Haskins is acting like he's like an accomplished veteran. Like he's an accomplished star. And how dare you bench him for playing bad, for playing horrible? How dare you bench him? Like at some point, you got to take some kind of responsibility. Like Carson Wentz, I mean, I don't blame him for wanting to be a starter, but you got to take responsibility. You were playing bad. Like you get benched most of the time, it's for a reason. And I think that's all that Ron Rivera wanted to see is that this dude is going to take responsibility and work to make sure he doesn't get benched again. And that's what I thought he was doing. He fooled me last week. He had a rough start last week, but in that second half, he looked pretty solid. And I'm saying, okay, maybe he's turning the corner. And then they ended up losing that game still. Then he goes to the strip club. Then he's playing horrible today. I just don't get it, man. Yeah, Peterson. I guarantee you that Doug Peterson was talking to Eagles ownership and management, saying, "I'm going to screw over Carson Wentz. I don't like this dude in here. We got to get Jalen Hurts." It's the reason they took Jalen Hurts. I guarantee you, Doug Peterson just said, "I have a whole play package. Whenever you're ready, we can go to Hurts. We're ready. Offense will get better. Whenever you're ready, we can go to Hurts." Because Wentz was playing horrible. I just think they wanted to get Hurts in there. Peterson is calling a lot better plays. He's actually giving the ball to Miles Sanders. Like I know what you're doing, Doug. because he saw Hurts as the way to save his job. Now Carson Wentz is the complete scapegoat. Now that might be right or wrong, but that's just what's going on. Packers up what? 14. Yeah, that's it. AJ Dillon is just gonna walk in. I say that's a wrap. The Packers will probably seal this game out. They'll probably win. That's probably game right there. Up 33-14, up 21. Nah, that's it. Or what, 19 or something? That's it. But anything else y'all want to add in? I'm probably gonna get out of here soon to get something to eat. Anything else about these last couple weeks and the playoffs and the Giants and NFC East and all of that? Anything else y'all got to add? Let me know. Yeah, that's definitely game right there. All right. Let's see. Titans will beat the Chiefs. Yeah, the Titans they're not messing with the Chiefs. Only person that can beat the Chiefs is Tom Brady, just because he's Tom Brady. Like that's the only way they're losing in the playoffs. Regular season they're bored. Yeah, we're all waiting for Jason Garrett to get fired. I put up the wrong thing. But yeah, shout out to Cushmaster. I see you with the smoke. But yeah, Vance, I'm gonna get out of here soon. I'm just letting y'all get y'all last little couple comments off. I mean, if we could get a new, I appreciate that, Dixon. You're a beast. But if we can get a new play caller and two new weapons, man, we can actually come on here and celebrate and talk about no, not that touchdown, not the touchdown we scored in the second quarter, but the touchdown we scored in the third quarter. Now when we got to 28, when we got to 34, we could talk about that kind of stuff instead of talking about we put up 6 points or 13 points. Oh yeah, postseason Eli would kill the Chiefs too. Oh boy, that'd be a mess. Like even if DJ ends up not being good, if he ends up like being gone after the next couple years, still Haskins and DeAndre Baker would just sets your franchise back a lot. I don't think firing Jason Garrett. It's like this, man. I just think if you have the problem, get rid of it because sure, okay, I say that the offense is like it's like something that's attached to you that you can take it off and it might hurt you, but if you leave it on, it's definitely going to kill you. So I think if you take it off, you might as well take it off. It might hurt, but I'd be more happy with keeping I'd be more happy with him improving and the offense, being better than to just keep it just for the sake of continuity. But yeah, Garrett called a pretty solid game today. Yeah, man. I don't even eat bacon cheeseburgers, man. I'm vegan. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna let y'all get a couple more comments off, and I think I'm gonna get off here and eat some of my vegan pizza. But yeah, I think we got it. We got a solid shot to make the playoffs, and we got a solid shot at that number one wide receiver this offseason. So I think at the end of Sunday night, I think we'll be satisfied in one way or another. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Appreciate y'all for coming in the stream. We had some content creators come in here. We had Authentic, PTA Sports. Definitely go sub up their channels. But I'm gonna get out of here. I've been streaming for probably 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours now. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Shout out to y'all. Y'all got me to 100. We had 100 people in the stream. Like really? That's crazy, man. I think the most I ever heard was like 30 something. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all go ahead and have a good night. And hopefully this loss doesn't stink too bad in the morning, knowing that we'll have some receivers next year for Daniel Jones.